on the next level. Yeah, I know you heard about it.
Motherfucker.
You know I'm bout it, and don't you ever doubt it. I'm incomparable, that's why they staring though. Turn up the stereo, check it out, check it out, check it out. I'm hot just like a sauna, New York to California. Too hot, too hot. You ain't seen nothing like this, nobody do it like this. I'm on the next level, next level, on the next level. They all trying to catch up to my next level, next level, on the next level. Check it out, check it out, check it out. La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
Motherfucker.
You like that old school, back in the music, that shit is old news. I'm popping through the ceiling, that's my motto, that's my motto. I lead, they follow. I'm hot just like a sauna, New York to California. Too hot, too hot. You ain't seen nothing like this, nobody do it like this.
Motherfucker.
I'm on the next level, next level, on the next level. They all trying to catch up to my next level, next level, on the next level. Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Meltology is the study and exploration of melted structures that were damaged during an extreme heat event that apparently took place in our not-so-distant past. We're talking temperatures well above 6,000 degrees. The evidence is all around us. You just can't miss the melt. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you see the melted bricks, you won't fall for their lame-ass tricks. Geologist, you're fired. The word mountain has no standardized geological meaning, so there's that. Meltology 101. Boom, baby. Tardy Glue Buffet right here. A successful woman is a woman who can lay a firm foundation with the bricks that others have thrown at her. I don't have haters, I have fans in denial, baby. This is a jackwagon free zone. How many people were in the car when JFK was assassinated? Boom, baby. Boom, baby. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Welcome back. I got 16 people here. That's awesome. I see Brian Stabley says hi in the chat. What's up, Brian? I was listening to a little bit of your show yesterday. It's interesting. I had to dip out, though. I had some stuff to do. Jeremy's here. What's up, Jeremy? Melanie's in the house. Johnny Cool's here. Toast is here. Or Toss. Stacy Daisy's here. What's up, Stacy? All right. So I have my other brother from another mother, my fellow Meltologist, Johnny Cool, in the house with me tonight. What's up, Johnny?
Hey, Jan. What's happening? Are you having a good
Not
night?
much. How you doing?
Yeah. Just working.
You're looking good there with your headset on there. Your glow in the dark cat ears.
Sometimes they say that it's too bright. The ears are too bright or something, but I guess if the light in the background, it might not be just so bright, you know?
Yeah, if you had it off, it would definitely stick out more. But there's a little glare on them. It's good, though. It looks cute.
I like to have a bit of fun, you know?
Yeah, I want to get a pair of those.
So, you know, sometimes we get a little bit serious about all this stuff, and, you know, it's good to have a laugh sometimes, you know, about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you go crazy, right? I mean.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, the research that we do and stuff, and the things that we know about the world we live in, and the lies we've been living all our lives, and they're still teaching it to our kids, and that's a huge struggle for a lot of people to be able to break away from that. And if not, you got to have your children come home and deprogram them, you know.
It's the reason that we homeschool, Jan. You know, we've been homeschooling for 20 years now, and all of our children, none of them are vaccinated or indoctrinated, right? You know, and we were able to teach them whatever we wanted. My son is 20 now, and he's got a full-time job. He's smart. He's a really good worker. They love him, you know. So it didn't affect him, Jan.
Right.
You know, that they would say if you don't send your kids to public school, they'll be ostracized or they'll be antisocial, right?
Yeah.
Which is not the case. Not the case.
That's just some fear they throw at you because, God forbid, you don't want nothing like that to happen to your child and you be the cause of it because you wanted to homeschool, you know. So they'll just try to scare you out of it, in my opinion.
They do. And I remember going through high school, and, you know, it really didn't do me any good, high school. I don't know about girls, but as a boy, I was very hyper, like, I guess they would call it ADHD, right? That's what they term it as. Mm-hmm. But really, it's just you're active. You want to be outside. You want to be doing stuff. You didn't. And high school was not really worth going to for me. So. Well,
they're forcing you into submission when they put you at those young ages when we have all that energy and it's building up and we don't have any release and we're forced to sit there and be quiet for 8 hours or whatever, 6 hours for some of them, and comply in a place that you don't want to be, which is, you know, same thing you're going to do when you go out into the workforce. You're going to go sit in an office for 8 hours, hating your job where you don't want to be there. You'd rather be somewhere else doing something else.
It's true. It's just conditioning for the next stage. But I mean, I've been doing this a long time, Jan. You know, 1998, I think, was when I was wakened up. You know, so
So
think I was
what
eight.
happened in 1998 that woke you up? Take us through that. What was like, the day before leading up to, and then boom.
Okay, that's okay. It's a personal one, but okay. So uh, when I used to take a lot of acid and stuff back in the day, and I was a drug dealer and did a lot of bad stuff. Well, I was in a nightclub and I was tripping on several acid tabs, and God just spoke to me. He's like woke me up. Now you could call it God, you call it the universe, right? Some people say universe, but I just think it's a name that people
Mhm.
use. Whatever
Right.
name you want to use. Woke me up and opened my eyes and said, "Look, you need to get out of this lifestyle that you're doing and do something useful." So then that led me to watching uh, videos about. First of all, it was evolution. In
Mhm.
those days, we didn't have meltology, we didn't have flat Earth, we didn't have any of that stuff. It was we looked into arguments against evolution. That's all we had at that time.
Right.
So, and it dealt a little bit with the lies in geology too, by the way, Jan, which
Mhm.
is a bit eye opening. So I haven't thrown all that out because even though they're mainstream geologists and scientists, they're Christians. They're Christian geologists.
Mm.
They believe in the flood. They believe uh, that it wasn't millions of years of layers and layers and layers of rocks. So
Mhm.
after doing that, I started watching some, you would call them conspiracy videos, I guess, conspiracy, on
Right.
VHS, because all we had was VHS, right? And it
Right.
was
Yeah.
hard because it was
Like
very
unsolved
long.
mysteries and stuff. Like
Yes.
eat that shit up.
It was very difficult because there was no one. You couldn't
Mhm.
talk to anyone. Like at least now on YouTube, you've got choices. You can go to whatever group and discuss your uh, conspiracy, let's call it, even though it's reality. But
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
and you've got choices, but you didn't have it back then. It was just you, and if you could find someone to talk to, you were very very lucky. So
Right. Yeah.
well,
Share some kind of information. It makes you really wonder, like, how we even did things before the internet. I was like, you would have to go through a library, go to a library and scour through books to hopefully find the answer you're seeking, or,
yeah,
if you have Encyclopedia Britannica at your house or whatever.
yeah, yeah. Who has
Other
that?
than that, it's just like
But
wait
like
for some history channel to come on or something.
the I think the internet was the awakening, the process for the awakening.
Right. Oh yeah.
Without it, people wouldn't have seen what they saw. I remember watching Loose Change on VHS, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Back in the day. So it was like if that internet had not have happened, you wouldn't have had the widespread
Yeah.
spreading of truth that you got. I think God did that. I'm sorry, or the universe, whatever way
Well,
you
they
want to
knew
term
that
it.
this was
But
going to happen. They had to know when they let all this out, the internet, and they had to know that these things were going to come out
yeah,
anyway, that they could try to get ahead of them with their people, in certain arenas and
yeah,
stuff around the
I
internet.
know. It's hard to know what they actually control. They tell you they control lots of things, and I wonder. You know, they're not all powerful, Jam. These are
Hmm.
just men. They're just men, and
I know.
I mean, maybe there's spiritual powers behind them that helps them to do it.
Yeah.
But these are just men. They're flesh and
I
blood.
think they have some kind of foresight, some type of, I don't know, I want to say like, what's that thing called? Um, where they read the future, or what's called,
Oh,
oh, I can't think of what its name.
clairvoyance, like a clairvoyance
Not
type
clairvoyance. It's
idea.
like a remote
Astrology.
viewing, remote viewing,
Oh, okay.
where they could see alternative futures for different things they want to plan, and they'll pick the best one that suits them. That the odds will be in their favor that it would definitely happen that way. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
100% certain. That's why
right.
they bombard us with all these programs and stuff and get us thinking certain ways and steering our thinking so that best suits our reaction, because it's problem reaction solution
Yes,
to
that's what
whatever.
they want. Yeah,
Yeah,
they want you to react. That's what
yeah.
they want. It's the Hegelian dialectic, Jan.
Yes, the
Uh,
Hegelian dialectic. You are right.
uh, they give
Oh,
you
I
two
got to vouch for
choices. They
that.
give you two extreme choices, extremes, and you're supposed to fall in the middle. Uh,
Mhm.
there's synthesis and thesis, right?
Yes. And then
Or
it's
antithesis and thesis becomes
yes.
synthesis. And they
Yes.
want you in the middle. They want you. They're trying to steer you to make a
Mhm.
decision. But we were talking about Mandela effect just before the show there, and yes, I do see it like everybody else. Obviously, it's everywhere. you know,
Right. Yeah.
bears stain
So,
bears. I
so what do
mean,
you think it means, though? I mean, this
that,
is something that's happening that's never really happened before. At least not like we would think like it's something that's occurring we all know about. It seems to be like,
yes.
wow, this is different. This is crazy what's got happening here.
I
It's
mean,
so vast
honest,
and it's everywhere, so it has to mean something. It has to.
it absolutely does mean something. When and I'm a Bible believer, and I say that I think the pit was opened, the pit, the
Mhm.
abyss in Revelation, and spirits, came out of that thing, and they're on the earth. I mean, they're here
Mhm.
now, and that's what's probably happening. They're messing with things, and God's allowing them to do it. He
Mhm.
has to allow them,
Yeah.
and I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the religious stuff, but give me a better theory then, So
Yeah. Right. I mean,
right, I
even
mean,
the whole flat Earth thing. I don't see how you can really take God off the table once you know that it's in the Bible.
well,
So they
it's
they
true.
lied to you all your life over here about what you're living on, right? And they're telling you
Yeah,
don't look at the Bible though, but you find out you're on a flat Earth, and oh, here it just happens to be that the Bible confirms that.
it's pretty
So
pretty self-explanatory.
yeah.
But I don't want to get into a big religious thing because
Oh yeah, I get it.
I know a lot of people don't like it.
Yeah.
Now I know that I'm a strong believer, so I don't make any apology for that. Like
Right.
but you want more people to come, and listen, find the truth will set you free, right? That's what it
Right.
says. The truth will set you free, and I think meltology or breakology, if you want to use that term, either one of those is the truth. And if you keep looking at it, you don't need anyone to tell you. You don't need anyone to, uh, your eyes see it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a pastor. You don't need a priest. You don't need anyone to teach you. You just have to use your eyes and
That's very true.
believe what you're. Like that one and the cowboy one.
Yeah.
Cowboy one.
Motherfucker.
Lawrence.
So, what's next, Jan?
I don't know what's next.
If
I
you
think men's hearts are going to fail them for what they see come upon the earth.
true,
Yeah.
maybe, probably already are. Uh,
Yeah.
we always view the world from America because you live in America, right?
Right.
This is where you live. But if you go around the world, you're going to find that there's a lot of turmoil. There's a lot of wars, strife. Things that we don't really see. Although I don't believe everything I read about that, Jan, either. Though, like
Hmm.
Africa, we were
Right.
told Africa is in poverty and
Yeah.
everybody's starving. Well, it turns out I have missionary friends who went over there, and they had better clothes and
Really?
belongings than he had. These
I'm not
people who were
surprised because we think we have it good here, but it's really we don't, and we haven't for a long time. It's just this illusion in our head that we're like the top dog and everything. We're like the third world country over here. I mean, just take a ride down in any inner city now at this point, and it looks like Beirut everywhere.
yeah, I know it. But
Yeah,
just
it's not
remember
good.
at the time, like when I started researching, Bill Gates and Henry Kissinger were
Hmm.
in the process of sterilizing Uganda. Remember back in
Mm,
those days, they
yeah.
sterilized a lot of people
Yep.
under the guise of vaccines. Right? They used vaccines again to
Hmm.
get these people to come, and then they sterilized them. It was crazy. I
Yep.
remember reading about that stuff. Almost make you cry when
So,
you're looking into it.
yeah.
But as a friend once said to me recently, if you look into the darkness enough, you will become dark. It
Oh
will
yeah.
get inside you. You
Yeah.
can't just keep looking into
No,
it.
you have to have the full armor of God on when you go in there, and you have to, because I had to go in and learn all. I wanted to know my enemy. I wanted to know what these Satanists, Luciferians were going to use, and what their game plan is and their
Absolutely.
tactics and stuff. Because I wanted to be on the battlefield. In order to do that, you have to know your enemy. And the stuff that I had learned back then, it was just like, wow, just had
Scary.
to
Yeah.
keep that armor on, because some people can't handle that, knowing the things, really getting down into it, what these people are up to and what they're willing to do. And it's all manifesting now all around us. The stuff that I had learned back then, it's like, they're doing it. Even when the little poop emojis came out and stuff, and everybody was using that, it's just, look at this, what they're doing here. I know what they're doing.
I didn't see that one actually until you mentioned it, like those emojis and stuff. Yeah, it's fascinating. It's almost everything we look at, they're doing something with it.
Yeah, the psychopaths run the world.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Did you want to get into a bit of melt or
Yeah. We were talking about what you were going to look at showing us tonight. You were talking about some underwater stuff you want to show?
Yeah, this was the first stuff that really got me interested in meltology to begin with. I started looking at underwater. First of all, they found a sphinx in Bermuda, right? And that caught my attention. Then there was some pyramids that they'd found. China, off the coast of China, I think it was, under the water. So I started looking into it, and then I mentioned it to one of my friends at work, who I thought was a really, really good friend. Cool guy, could talk with about anything, right? But I mentioned about this, and then on Facebook, he started saying I was a dummy, and I was looking into all this stuff. Well, I'm weird, Jan. If you call me a dummy, I react a different way. I will look into that more. Than I'm not going to stop. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but that guy just kind of turned on me.
Isn't that weird? I've had people do that to me too over the course of the years. It's like just this one little thing, like the word matrix in the Bible had this girl running scared from me. You would think I was coming after her with an axe. It's like, what's wrong? What did I do?
Just 1 ounce of truth and scares him,
Yeah.
So that was weird, and that he reacted that way, and it got me really looking into it. And I can pull up some of these pictures if you want me to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Share, Jan. Yeah. Let me pull up the share screen here.
What's up, Freya?
Share screen. Share audio as well. I don't have any audio, but it's all right.
Okay, here we go.
All right. So can everyone see it?
Yes.
All righty. So I'm just going to bring up my folder. Trying to stay organized, Jan.
No, you're doing good.
So these are just some of the underwater structures that I had looked at, like, way early on. I'm not sure if all of them are actually real, Jan. Some look superimposed.
Yeah, some of them, I've seen some that look like they're kind of photoshopped or whatever, but some of them, it's hard to tell too.
Yeah, hard to tell, but there's other ones here that are, mind-blowing. But is my screen big enough?
Yeah, you're good. I got you on big screen.
All right, so these are the ones that was in China.
Is this Yonaguni? I think this one might be off of Japan.
It might be, Jan. I honestly don't write down the names of these places, but obviously it's a structure, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
It's just so. And what blows my mind is this is so obviously a structure, and no one would disagree with you on that, right. The normies. But if you go to, well, that's more pictures of that one. I'm sorry, I'm going too fast through these. But if you go to where it starts getting more like rocky looking, but it's still a structure, right? But it's getting a little bit more worn out around the edges. And then, when it comes to these ones,
wow,
people automatically switch their brain off. They've just seen that those other ones were structures, and now they can't see that this could possibly be a melted structure.
Right.
Rather rather than just a geological formation, which we
This
know
is
is
crazy.
nonsense.
I've never seen this picture. Now, this is at the same location, or is this
I
something different?
believe it's close to that, Jan. It was in
Okay.
China.
Wow.
But I mean, me and you both know that's a melted structure when we look at it.
Every day of the week.
Obviously. But I remember first coming into it, Jan, the larger structures were difficult to process. Your mind just couldn't let go of the geology
Mhm.
or some other method. Uh, I think I just woke up. It was actually after watching Jerry's video.
Right.
I think you helped him with that one, didn't you?
Yeah, the documentary, When the Buildings Cried.
When the buildings cried.
Yeah,
It
I did
wasn't.
the opening and a little part in part two, I think it is. I was helping him to put it together and try to produce it and stuff. I didn't really want a whole lot of parts in it or anything. He did a great job, but wound up being, I think, 5 parts at the end of it all. It's
I'm
lengthy.
going
It's
back
full
to.
of information.
I went through a bit fast there. I was trying to get to one just to prove the point that just because one looks a bit more worn down doesn't mean it's not a building anymore. It
Right.
just means it had more damage, right?
Yeah.
Or it was in a different condition.
I remember seeing this site before I knew about the melt and everything, and I never knew
Yes.
what to make of it. I was just
No, I
like,
know.
it's something weird, but and now it all makes sense now that we know what we're looking at.
Here's another one. I mean, I think this is real. It kind of looks superimposed, some of it, but obvious. It's got doors in it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a building all day, every day of the
Somebody
week,
left the windows open, like Pants On would say.
right? If James was here, he could give us a price on to rent this thing.
Right.
I like the way he does the realty stuff. And
Yeah.
have fun with it. And then the melted steps, of course,
Of course.
up
Who's
the
carving
side,
melted steps?
because we love the melted steps. Uh, it's going to get harder and harder for geologists to explain this stuff, Jan. They're not going to be able to hide this for much longer.
Yeah.
It's too widespread now. More people
Geologists and
know.
archaeologists are going to be running scared.
I think so.
I'm sure
I think
they have
so.
had to smash into each other at some site somewhere and left scratching their heads.
Yeah, no
I
doubt.
mean,
No doubt. There's no way, because there's so many people know about it now, Jan. It's not just a few people,
yeah.
that's doing it, and they're going to have to come up with another story, I guess. You know what I mean? But they're never going to be able to. So pretty big steps. The diver, I mean, it's almost the height of the diver, so those are pretty big. If they are steps, Jan, I don't know what they might not be
No,
steps.
I don't know. It's hard to say what this thing is or what it was.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I can't
But I'm
think
like you.
It's definitely structure. It's not natural. And nothing's natural. I don't even know
Right?
what natural is.
No, I don't. Exactly. It's like you say, I saw these before knowing about the melt, and
Mhm.
you could not process it. Where did this come from? And then you went to alien technology, right? The
Right.
alien.
Because that was the only alternative stuff we had to go with, like the Graham Hancock stuff and the ancient aliens. That's the
Yes.
only thing we really had until we started to realize, we're on a flat plane, so aliens are out the window. What are these things? Are they interdimensional beings? What does that mean? What's that look like?
I
Not
remember all that
from
stuff.
Zeta Reticuli, that's for sure.
And I'm not sure where these are, Jan, but they're
Wow.
pretty decorative. I mean,
Yeah, look at these. These are
what?
amazing.
Like, why is that under the water? Like, it almost looks like a gravestone.
Yeah, I
But-
think this is maybe off the coast of Alexandria in Egypt.
Is it?
I know Alexandria is sunk under the water, and they found a lot of stuff there. And I guess this one over here on the right is China, maybe something under the water in China.
This one is China, I
Yeah,
believe.
wow, look
Yeah,
at that.
that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, huge temple I'm saying temple. I don't know. Was it a temple? I mean, we don't really know.
Either a
what they
temple
were
or a
for.
tomb.
Right? Well, that's
To
what they
them.
say. Always.
Right.
And then
Look at
here's
this
their,
floor. Oh my goodness.
like, why is this here? You know,
The
I
flood
mean,
came and it didn't really recede all the way. This is why we've been showing stuff about a lot of the stuff for the LiDAR underwater. They try to
right?
tell us this is all, you know, natural formations when they're
Formations.
actually forming looks like city streets under there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's all under there. Later on, I'm going to show that it just depends on where the rocks are located, like whether they're in the water or out of the water, for the
Right.
color. I have a picture that shows that perfectly, the transition. But yeah, why is that there? There's no point, right? And then you go to Atlantis, right? People have the Atlantis stories and stuff like that they go to, which I think is made up by the Masons as a diversion.
Right.
But the decorations are just
Well, you know what
phenomenal
it
on this
does
thing.
too. It gives credence to, okay, say we're all saying, well, there had to have been an advanced ancient civilization that built some of this stuff because it's not making sense, and you got to make it sense, and your archaeology and geology is not making sense. So then you have Atlantis you can point to, some fabled fairy tale from somebody, Plato, and it's
Yes.
just, I'm not sure if it really existed or it was the Eye of the Sahara. That could have been it. I don't know, but
Yeah.
everybody seems to point to that as the ancient civilization that was. So it already has like a predestined answer for you, kind of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not convinced that Plato or Socrates even lived, Jen.
Right?
You know,
Exactly.
I'm not
Exactly.
convinced that they lived.
And once you
But
realize it's all fake, you really have to look at what narratives you are buying into still, because I do see people who, know that a lot of things are lies, but then sometimes out of the blue, they'll bring up something, that mainstream's talking about, and they seem to, you know, I don't know, buy into it in some level.
yes, there's
Yeah,
so
it's
many
all
lies.
all fake, all of it.
But look at the size of this thing. I mean, it goes down for, I don't
Wow.
know, maybe 1,000 feet.
Right?
It's huge.
That reminds me of those rock carved temples, supposedly they carved it straight down and carved
Yes.
out like a church cross, a cross of a church or something. Like,
Uh
yeah.
huh. A lot of carving. Yep, absolutely. With no chisels, no
Yeah.
decent chisels. And this was
And
one that,
apparently no shortage of skilled labor.
right, right. That was my argument that
Apparently
not
they were
every,
all born with these skills straight out the gate.
right. Just give them a chisel out of the womb
Right? They
and
came out,
they're
yeah,
good to go.
exactly. Don't
With
give
their
them a
flip
nipple, give them a
flops.
chisel.
Yeah, I mean, and the equipment just wasn't there. I've shown it in my videos what they found from like 300 BC, they say.
Mhm.
And it's ludicrous, Jan. The tools that they say they made this stuff with,
Yeah.
brass and bronze, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't be possible.
Yep, it's just like the cart ruts that we see everywhere that are actually tram tracks that are melted. They can't tell us that they had advanced stuff back then and that this is melted stuff. They have to say,
Yes,
"Oh, these are from ancient cart ruts." Are you kidding me? But we
this one
bought it
here
for a while anyway. But I think
we
we're in that
did.
time of revealing. It's all being revealed, and they can't stop it. It's just
This one here, Jan, reminds me of your one of Vesuvius or Pompeii. Sorry, the
right.
streets of Pompeii. Well,
Yep.
it's a bit more destroyed, but uh, these guys were uncovering this thing.
Yeah.
Massa showed it on my channel when he was on there. Forget the location, but maybe he can put it in the chat if he's here.
It
But
definitely looks like cart ruts,
it
which are
definitely
not cart ruts;
does.
they're tram tracks.
Like, why is there a road under the sea again?
Exactly. What's that doing there? Who's laying brick underwater?
So back to that one, which was phenomenal. It's almost like Jan's Causeway, Jan.
Yeah.
The structure,
Right.
and I know that it looks like one solid long piece, but there's some that aren't. They're like broken up into the bricks, separate bricks.
Right.
Can't find any in this picture, but I have some of Jan's Causeway, and
Right.
you've seen them too. Like what has the
Well, that's
clear
probably the
definition.
core of what's left. Like that building I show that's a ziggurat, and it looks like a sandstone butte. They even admit it, but it looks like it's one solid piece. Like, how could that have been a building? Where would the rooms and the walkways be? But you're seeing the core of what's left of the building. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Now, this is a picture I was going to tell you about that I thought might have been photoshopped or not, because it has the orbs in it.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
This one
this
here.
picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about this. Like I say, some of them look a bit, uh, you know, fake, but I'm not sure. But we don't need the fake ones, right? We don't need the fake ones because we've got real ones.
Hmm.
You know, if people are doing this to try to discredit what we're talking about, I don't know, Jan. Though, I mean, I guess the shadows aren't really there, are they? There's not really any shadows
I
or
can't
anything.
tell if this is real or not. I remember looking up underwater orbs because I know
Yeah.
that there's pictures of them underwater as well. So it's clearly not dust particles. And I was trying to
Yes.
prove this point to somebody. And I remember this picture coming up, and I didn't know if it was real or not. I just couldn't make heads or
Interesting.
tails. If Shapu was here, he would know.
Yes, Shipu's very good on technical stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I love hearing him talking about that stuff. And I don't know if this one was not real, but here's one thing that I was going to mention about these. This is Greece. This is off the coast of Greece.
Wow.
Um, all these different objects were found, you know, uh, under the water. So even pillars, right,
Nice.
under the water. But yet you can determine that that is not a natural object, right? Even though it's covered in uh,
Right.
algae, whatever, it's not natural. It's a man-made
Right.
structure. But when they see one that looks like this, it all changes. This changes into a geology story
Yep.
in the mind of a person who can't see it, even though they've just seen these objects, which, given a bit of time, this would be completely covered, Jan. This would be,
Right.
it would almost look like a coral reef, right?
Yes.
I wonder about coral reefs too, Jan. You
Oh,
know,
yeah, yeah.
uh, uh,
I looked at the Great Barrier Reef off of Australia, and that thing's a melted building.
yeah. And here's, I'm not sure what the star is. It's a star, I believe, right in the
Yeah,
middle
they
of
said it's a
nowhere.
star or a turtle or something. I think this one,
Some,
but
some,
it's cut in a manner that is, equivalent and stuff. Like it's too precise for it to
yeah.
be just some accidental natural erosion or whatever.
You've probably seen these pictures 1,000 times, I'm sure. You know, all the ones I'm showing. I bet you've been doing this for so long.
I like watching them dive in caves and the cenotes in Mexico. The cenotes, those little
Yeah,
underwater passageways and stuff.
yeah,
And
I
you
love that
see,
stuff.
you can tell it's a building that they're
I
swimming
love
through.
that stuff. I've always liked diving, you see, so I was very interested, and that's how I
Hmm.
found it. Was just looking at different dives that people were doing in caves and stuff,
It's
and
amazing how
then
crystal
got me
clear the
interested.
water is. It's like,
It's beautiful,
it's unbelievable.
gorgeous. But this one's completely muffed up, Jan.
Oh, yeah, it's all melted.
Yeah, but and it's white though. It's gone white, right?
That's very true. Very true.
But that why that might be a bit later. I wish Shapu was here for this too, because he could correct me on my science.
Mhm.
But but there's
Look at
another
that.
obvious one,
Wow.
and of course
Yeah.
we've got what Mark. I love it when Mark talks about the stalactites. You know what I mean? In his videos, that these were just like drips that were dripping off the roof, just like the what's that the bunker in Russia that had the
Oh, yeah.
napalm.
Yes. Yeah. I can't pronounce the name
Zagreb,
of it. Yeah.
Zagreb, or something like that.
Something
But
like that. That
just like
melted
that.
port in Russia. Yes. We all, yeah.
I mean, that
Total
is exactly.
torpification.
If that thing was submerged in water, it would probably look just like this after a while. If it
Hmm.
was left underwater. And
Yep.
I'm going to talk about efflorescence a little bit later, Jan, just at the end here, because I believe that's why it is so white under the water. Uh, I actually have a picture of it's pretty decent that shows it.
What was that? Go back a picture. Hold
Oh,
on.
go
You
ahead.
like some train tracks there under the water.
Yes,
What's going
yes.
on here?
I don't know,
All
Jan.
right, now this is a money shot right here. You skipped right
Right?
over it. I'm like,
No,
wait,
I was going to come back. I was going to show my efflorescence
I'm
example.
sorry. You can go. Go ahead. You can go do the
No, you're good.
fluorescence.
You're good. But yeah, I don't know. Like, who's building train tracks under the water?
Right?
Like, why?
They ain't
What is
no
this?
cart ruts.
It reminds me of that
Are they
James
mining
Bond
a
movie.
building or building a mine? I don't know.
I don't know.
You tell me. Make it make sense.
And they're all white. I notice they're all white until it comes to. Hopefully, I can find this picture, Jan. Let me skip out of here. Maybe I can find it easier in my folder. Oh, yeah. Okay, so there it is. This picture here. So it's white underneath, but above it's red.
That's weird.
That's got to mean something, Jan.
Oh yeah.
And now maybe it is just a reflection of the water. It could be.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
But efflorescence, I was looking into it, where the salt will leach out. I'm sorry, wrong tab.
It's
But
okay.
anyway, you know what I'm talking about, the process where the salt will leach out under the surface of the material,
Mm-hmm.
and it says it can happen under when it's submerged in water. That the salt will escape.
Right.
And I don't know, but this picture seems to show that it does something to it. It changes the color.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to show that for that example.
Oh, that's
We'll
interesting.
go back to our train tracks again. Well, I have other curdles too. Like, okay, here's what you would call a coral reef, right?
Right.
But is it really? I mean, it's got coral on it, fair enough, but just like that other object where the objects were covered in the coral,
Uh-huh.
I would bet there's structure underneath this,
Right. Exactly.
and who knows what it is. Well,
Yeah, we've even found melted steps in a cave. One of the shows that we had done a while ago, I was showing some cave, and it was like there were steps going up to another level, and they were part
Yeah.
of this whole thing, and they were melted.
it's cool.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, it's a multi-level building here.
Multi-level
Those are
building.
bricklayers for sure.
Obviously,
The sedimentary layers
obviously.
do not exist.
But I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
The bricks, even some are they're not quite as squished up top, Jan. They're
Mhm.
they're a little bit more kept their shape a little bit better,
Mhm.
but they're still all bricks. And then probably an archway. I don't know if it's an archway, Jan, or did one building fall onto the other one? Not sure, but it's a pretty big archway if it is. This opening right here. Not sure.
Yeah, it is pretty big, but it looks like it maybe got narrowed out. Like maybe the melt was, how everything kind of expands and closes on itself. It
Squished
could have
in from
been
the
wider at
sides.
one point,
Yeah.
maybe. I could be wrong about that. But with the sedimentary
Possible.
layer thing, if even if you think, well, come on, that's probably sedimentary layers, not brick, but then that takes you back to their geology and their globe model and, make sense of sedimentary layers and millions of years of forming their gradualism theory. So all that's out the window. They can't be sedimentary layers.
And there again, Jan, that's where the people I used to watch about that were against evolution, they're also against geology that teaches layers built up over millions of years. They're also against that, which is on our side, but they don't quite get the melted building part because they've been looking into their own little topic. Their own. They've stuck in that one topic, Jan. It's kind of like the way we do sometimes with flat Earth and stuff. You stick in that one topic, you're studying it for years, you can't get out of it, you've got to move on. You've got to move on because there's more truth that's going to be revealed. And there'll probably be maybe another.
It leads to more questions, and those questions expand on your thoughts and your research, and it just drives me to go further with any topic that I cover. I try to.
Geology is nonsense. Geology is just nonsense. There's nothing about it that makes any sense anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to be a geologist. I was, looking to do that actually, but just I'm glad I didn't, Jan. So,
I think there's some geologists out there, like the one guy that I have here. Hold on, let me find my drop. He talks about this mountain being a building. Hold on, let me find it here. Where the heck is it? I got him here somewhere. Hold on.
I'm not sure where this cave is.
Oh, here he is. All right, so this is 30 seconds long. I want you to hear what this geologist has to say.
When geologist Danny Hillman Madhuwagana saw the pictures of the site, he immediately noticed that the hill of Gunung absolutely did not fit into the picture of the rest of the site. Danny Madhuwagana intuitively saw at once what had remained hidden from all the other scientists until then. Gunung Padang was not just a collection of megaliths on a natural hill. The geologist immediately suspected that the entire mountain had been the construction of humans.
All right, I don't know why it was echoing. Did you hear an echo?
Not too much. It wasn't
That
too
was
bad.
really weird.
For me, it was okay. A little bit. Not bad. But,
Okay. Well,
but
that's
it's a good point.
Yeah.
So he told the truth then, that guy.
Yeah, he saw immediately what the other scientists and geologists there could not see. It was right there in front of their faces, but they could not see it. That the whole thing was a building, not just this little whatever over here or something.
Yeah. I'm not going to spend too much time on these ones, Jan.
Mhm.
You know, it's just the same sort of thing. It's bricklayers, obviously. It's bricklayers. It was a building. It got squished down. I mean, there was openings. It got closed over. But so hopefully there's no one too new in the chat that doesn't quite get it, you know. That's
I think we got 22 people watching. I think the 22 that are here are probably well-seasoned meltologists.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But that's my biggest fear, Jan, is that people coming into like a chat like this that are new, you know, and they don't get it, and they'll maybe ask a question, a dumb question, which would be dumb to us, and for them to feel stupid, you know what I mean, or to be made to feel stupid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's about that, really. You know, there's an old saying, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
Right. That's good.
You can give them all the information you want, but if you call them stupid or like, you know, for no reason, unless they're being nasty, right? I mean, and then you want to kick them out of the chat. But I think all questions should be treated with, you know, a bit more carefully, maybe. You know.
Absolutely. I don't think it's a good thing to go around insulting other people or, you know, making it feel like their question's a stupid question. I don't think any question's a stupid question. But if you can tell that they're doing it, you know, spitefully or, you know, with condemnation, trying to make a stupid question, that's a whole different thing.
Agreed. And I think we've got moderators in the chat who can determine that kind of thing. You know, I know Melanie's good at that. You know, finding if people are genuine or not, you know what I mean? And there's other mods too that are good at doing that. But I just want everyone to feel like their questions are valuable. You know, you can ask them and don't have to be called stupid about everything. And I've got
Hallelujah.
I got one more folder, and it was on China, and these are just some eye candy, basically. You know,
I love eye candy.
You know what I mean? It's eye candy, but it's also, you know, so obvious what is going on here to us anyway. I mean, I know to a newcomer, this is going to just look like a mountain, a geological formation, right? That's all they can see. But we know that's impossible. It didn't happen.
It's amazing when you see this stuff with your eyes open now and understand what's going on here.
You can kind of see some bricks here, Jen. I mean,
still,
you know what I mean? Still in good shape, right? But at first glance, if someone just showed you a picture of that, you would say, "Oh, it looks like a city."
Oh yeah.
Right? It just, you know, without thinking about science and stuff, just look at it and see it. And,
wow, look at that. Oh, goodness. Who's building that up
there?
Right,
I know. Who's climbing
my vertigo kicking right now.
My goodness. Who's building this scaffolding to get the bricks up? Oh my goodness.
And the mortar. How they get the mortar up there?
I wonder how high that is.
How
And
they
that's
getting
got to
water up there? I don't know what's going on. Do they have toilets? They just throw it over the side. Watch
it's
out
crazy,
below.
Jen. But
This is
yeah,
nuts. Is this
who would
real?
do this?
Oh yeah, I've
Supposedly,
seen this one before. It's in China, I guess. Yeah,
somewhere in China.
yeah.
I would
They
not want
call
to
it
live
like
up there. Would you want to live up there, Jen?
the sedimentary layers that are popping out here on the side too, right?
yeah. I know. It's crazy.
I love
Brick
it.
lines,
Gosh.
brick lines everywhere, Jen. Brick lines and just melt. But like, who's building the scaffolding? That's about 1,000 feet, probably, maybe more.
Yeah.
I don't know how high that is, but that's a lot of scaffolding to get that little
And look at
house there.
that little square down below where the house is. It's gouged out of the side of the mountain building here. Go
Where
all
are
the way
you
down.
looking, Jen?
Yeah, go down further to the left where these buildings are. Yeah, see
Okay.
the back of the building here? It's gouged out of the side of the mountain.
I'll zoom
Keep
in
going to
and
the
you
left.
can show me where.
There you go, right over there. See how it goes straight down along the mountain behind the buildings?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
see, it's
see
cut
that.
straight in
Yeah,
there.
that's interesting.
Yeah, scroll up just a little to the houses. There you go. That
Wow.
whole wall right there. See, it goes straight down.
Yes,
Interesting.
and
That's
you
wow. That's a
know,
lot.
I was on with Dino the other day, and he was showing me on the freeways and stuff
Uh-huh.
how they're using the melt to make the freeways. You know, they're
Really?
using this. Yeah, they use the structure. It was very interesting. So I did not see that before, but he just showed that it was built on the structure of the
Right.
building, and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't, have to do hardly any work to it. They just kind of used the existing building.
Right. Yeah.
Interesting. I love learning new things about it.
Now, wait, go back to that picture real quick.
Sorry.
Looking at the mountain here, the range of it going off to the right, yeah,
Yes.
imagine them
Yes.
putting in the Great Wall of China over that, okay?
Yep. I
Laying
can.
brick.
Right. Right.
Okay? It's not even
I-
level.
It's insane, Jan. It's just insane. There's no way. Who's carrying bricks up there?
And the
for one thing?
whole wall of China is made of brick. All of it. That
Yeah.
means it's all mortar, too.
Yeah, brick and mortar. I just, it's hard to. You can't believe hardly anything that they say, really. And here's another, just eye candy, basically. But it does show the melt, though. It does show that there are brick lines. There's even surviving bricks. It's
Baby.
plain to see it. All mountains are melted buildings.
All of them, in my opinion,
Yeah.
yeah. It's okay if you disagree with me, too. I'm cool with it.
No, I mean it is okay, but it's like everything else. It's like you just gotta open your eyes and just let your eyes tell you what it is, instead of someone else telling you what it is. But plain to see, melted structure. So I don't know if you want to see anything on that one, Jan, or zoom in on anything, or
No, I think this is in China where you're looking here.
Again,
If I'm not
yeah.
mistaken, I think this is also China as well. Yeah.
this whole folder is
I
China.
think that they did Avatar in this location. Didn't they use this for Avatar, the movie?
They may have, Jan. It looks familiar. It really does. But
Look at
again,
that.
here we go. Brick lines. I mean,
Wow.
plain to see.
You love to see
Not
it.
sedimentary layer.
Yeah. Look down below
They
those
might-
buttresses right there. You can see the brick pattern. See these
Yep,
gold looking?
absolutely.
Yeah, right there. Look at that.
Right here. Yep, you can
Oh,
see it there, and
maybe.
I can see it above as well, Jan. I mean,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just, it's to me, it's all of this. I can see it as a brick. There's bricks in there, and behind that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not now that I've got the eyes to see it, right?
You cannot deny it. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. You just cannot unsee it. And what are you going to go back to if you unsee it? Fake geology, sedimentary layers. It's
All
like
right.
the whole Earth. There's nothing to go back to once you know it's flat. It's just,
Right.
just lies.
You're going backwards. Yeah. Don't go back to
Exactly.
geology.
I'm moving forward.
But crazy building. Must have been humongous building, Jan. I mean, at one point.
I would love to hear, flat earthers tackle some real issues that have to be explained once you figure out you're on a flat plane. Which would be one of them would be volcanoes. I don't see anybody trying to tackle that one, or maybe even explain what meteor crater is.
It's a good
These types
question.
of things that we're told, it's from a molten core or it's from space.
Yeah, yeah. Explain. Yeah, because if there's no molten core, nothing spinning, there's no lava coming up from the center. So where's it coming from? Where's the
Right.
lava coming from?
Yeah, what
You
are
know,
these things? And they
right?
had this concoction since the 1700s to make a volcano.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't want to get too pedantic about it, but I believe it was a circuit board, right? A circuit
Mhm.
board, like a big city that powered itself,
Mhm.
not powered itself, but it was powered by free energy. And the components in those buildings are probably what is making the lava. They're still active.
Right.
They're still reacting.
It could be because it wasn't that long ago. I don't think the last X Factor God's Judgment, and it could still be hotspots. Sure, there could be.
Yeah.
I think
Now, I know
some
that
of them
you
they
said
simulate though to
yes.
further
No.
their look. If they're going to shoot rockets up to the firmament and it goes over and falls in the ocean, they tell us we went to space, and they do it all the time, and they're still doing
Yeah.
it. And they're going to keep doing it. You don't think they'd fake a volcano?
No. I remember you
They've
guys.
been doing that since the 1700s.
You guys did a show on that, and it was very interesting. The reactions, chemical reactions.
Yeah, yeah.
I agree. They would do that. They definitely would do that. But I just, you know, I think there is just energy as well, like stored in the components, Jan. That
Oh
are
yeah.
or
So
whatever
how would you control
materials.
that narrative? The way you would control that narrative is the ones that are still around that aren't still active, right?
Yes.
Or say maybe they're a little active, and you could throw that concoction in there, that payload, and plan these eruptions out to further anchor this narrative in people's heads as being true. Oh
That's
look,
true.
Mauna Loa is going off, or oh look,
Yeah.
La Palma's going off, and all this stuff, and
I wonder about Mount St. Helens, Jan. I
oh
wonder if they
yeah,
did that one too. You
I
know,
feel that was definitely done. Yeah.
and they didn't do it right. Right? It didn't work out the way that they wanted it to, because they were wanting lava probably to come out of that, but
Mhm.
it didn't happen that way. It probably went wrong. The experiment went wrong. But I have a sneaky suspicion they did that one too.
Yeah, I mean, if I was stuck in flat Earth, these would be issues that I would be tackling, And once I got into the
Absolutely.
melt anyway, I mean, I already was asking these questions, but connecting it to the grid system, to the free energy grid system that seems to have been operating here in the old world, and there being a grid meltdown with the heat coming up from below, there would be a lot of things that would need to be explained. And this is why geology came in. This is why archaeology came in, and all this other stuff is to explain all this stuff away to the new population. Because geology starts up around 1860s, and it starts being a thing and really being taught, and you can get the degrees in it. Maybe like 1880s, and now we
I
have all
will.
these explanations for all this stuff. Like, these are sedimentary layers. This is just all happenstance.
The other thing about it, Jen, is that it doesn't conflict with flat Earth. I don't know why anybody would be offended by it, because it goes hand in hand. In my mind,
Oh yeah.
the two subjects are connected.
Well, it has to make sense, because when you're on a flat plane and you're like, okay, it's flat. I got all these experiments. I could prove it. It's flat. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, then you look over here at geology. At some point, you're going to ask yourself, well, what the fuck is all this stuff? Clearly, it didn't take millions of years to form,
Right.
or whatever. However, geology's explaining it. That's when you start to realize these are all lies, and then you start to investigate and come up with your own conclusions and theories and stuff that make way more sense than anything you're going to get from them, because it all ties back to their globe, and you've let go of the globe. So you got to let go of all that crap.
Yeah, just let go of it. I mean, I don't know if you want to say anything about this one, Jen. It's just another eye candy one, really.
Yeah, it's the same location, just like that different angle. You can see
pretty similar.
the bridge a little bit better. Wow.
But huge building, though. I mean, the size of it. That's the part that was hard to accept, was the size of these buildings, Jen.
Yep.
Because that is humongous building right there. But
Yeah, these were massive buildings interconnected, and there's also a massive tunnel system underneath. They say it's an ancient Stone Age massive tunnel system that runs from Scotland to Turkey.
Oh wow!
And I have some information on that. Yeah.
I had never heard about that actually. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah, there's a whole network of tunnels under Europe and everything. It's crazy.
Again,
Wow.
another one where people would say, "Oh, it has to be a mountain," right? I mean, even though, I mean, I bet you if you went in real close, you'd see brick lines in it as well,
Yeah.
and it's
What's
just
a
covered in a little
mountain?
bit of trees. But
Well, let's see what
I
a
mean,
mountain is.
According to
well,
Encyclopedia Britannica, mountains generally are understood to be larger than hills, but the term has no standardized geological meaning.
There you have
yeah,
it.
exactly, exactly. Mountain of bricks,
That's right.
right? So
Mountain of melted
that's
bricks.
where we are. Clear definition. I guess this one toppled over. Must have toppled over. Got weak and went on to
Yeah.
the other ones, like a domino effect.
That reminds me right there of the that one location where they call it like the Devil's Spine or something. I think it's out in like not the Midwest or something. It's called the Devil's Spine.
Yeah. Where is it now? You said
I think
Devil's
it's
Spring?
out in the Midwest somewhere. I'm not sure the location, but we did cover it. But when we were covering our show with all the locations named after the devil,
All right. Yes.
the Devil's Backbone is what it is.
Always.
The Devil's Backbone is what it's called.
There's a lot of those in the Giant's Causeway. The Devil's Pipes. They look like pipes, like organ pipes.
Right.
You know, and that's on the Giant's Causeway site as well. Might have been pillars, probably some kind of pillars, I would imagine.
This
This
is
is great,
crazy.
isn't it? What is this? How are you? Why are you even going up here?
Wow.
What's the point?
Look at the right angles off to the left too. Like you can see
Yeah.
some right angles in there.
Yeah,
Either the left and the
absolutely.
right.
Yeah,
I
both
was looking at
sides.
the other
Yeah.
left.
Oh, the other left. Okay.
Yeah, down there, all
Yeah.
down there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you can see the right
I mean,
angles. Yeah.
But to go up here and build this, what? Why? Like, what's the point? It's a lot
Looks
of
to
work.
me the whole mountain is the building.
It is. It looks. It would
That
be a
massive
ziggurat.
quality.
Wouldn't it be a ziggurat if it was formed out? You know.
Yeah, like the hanging
this way?
gardens and stuff with
Yeah.
stuff we see at Machu Picchu even.
Exactly. Yeah. It would be like a ziggurat because there's
I
the
have a feeling
steps
there's
right
some
there.
melted steps hiding here somewhere.
Yes, I think so. Let's try to find them. I haven't really searched, but I'm sure they're in there somewhere, Jan. They always are. But it reminds me, these are the steps almost like not this one, but the beside it here. These looks like it steps down. I don't know, but it definitely would look like a ziggurat if that was all around, you know, and this wasn't destroyed and melted.
Right.
So anyway, I might need a cigarette pretty soon.
Look at this. Oh,
Yeah.
I could see the windows and the doors and stuff. I could just,
All right,
wow.
let me just see if we can find a couple. Oh yeah, there you go. Already, there's your apertures.
Popping out everywhere.
I don't know if that's maybe it's a bad picture, Jan. It's not very good quality, but and again, it's white, right?
Yeah.
It's white, right? Well, look at the moisture.
Yes.
The amount of moisture. See, this is my theory. It's like that moisture has something to do with how white it gets. Because Moab, right? Think about Moab. It's so dry, right?
Right.
It's not very moist, but it's very red, right? But if you
very
go to
true.
places like this where it's moist, it seems to be white, a lot more white, which would be efflorescence happening.
Absolutely. That's a
it's
very
just
good observation, Johnny. I just, that's a good explanation because many people have asked, why does it look like this? And over here it looks like
Yep.
this in this location. So you might be onto something there.
I had thought about it for a while, Jan, because when I was in Moab, it was so red. And I was like, why is this one so red? You know what I mean? Is this special brick down here?
Right.
It's more red than the others. But it seems to be these Asian countries that has the white color on it, where it's more like a rainforesty type,
Right.
area. So that's why I've been thinking that way, Jan, just about it.
Yeah. That
We
is
need
so
a,
fascinating looking. Look at that thing.
isn't it? The trees are all very young, of course,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not much to feed on. Carbon 14 or I'm still learning, Jan. I don't know a lot of the stuff, so
We're all still learning, Richard.
yeah. You got
At this
that drop?
point.
Do you have that
I
one?
don't have that drop.
Yeah.
I have
That's
this.
very true. Very true.
Or eye candy. Okay, we need to do boots on the ground here in this location.
Oh yeah, I'm there. Let's go.
All right. That's gorgeous.
Oh,
We
we're
need to
getting
go
really
there.
bad thunder right now. How about all those crazy storms that ran through last night and this morning?
Yeah, it's getting crazy. They've been chemtrailing for solid for a while back. I don't know if you noticed,
Hmm.
but yeah, they had been chemtrailing really heavily, and then all of a sudden there's storms, right? Of course, that's what they say they're doing is weather. Oh, well, that's another subject. Yeah, we're kind of changing subjects, but so in the 90s, 1998, in high school, I was taught about geoengineering in science class. Were you guys taught that?
No.
We were taught it in science class. That's
Really?
what they were. Yeah, that's what they were going to do. And then I noticed it became a conspiracy theory over a little bit of time. And but yeah, we were taught that was going to happen. But they called it geoengineering, and they said it was for global warming and climate change
Huh.
back in that time. Yeah, to prevent that from happening. But so that was the excuse that they gave. And that was back in '98.
It's interesting they
I,
taught you that back then. How old are you?
I am 48.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a while ago.
Wow.
But I know, like Melanie, I know she does a lot of research into that stuff and knows a lot more than I do about it. I do. I was asked on a show the other day what I thought the chemtrails were, what they were for,
Uh-huh.
and I said I didn't know because I didn't really want to talk about it that day. But yeah, I think it's for Wi-Fi transmission. You know, it is for weather manipulation as well. I think there's multi reasons for it,
Right.
but the materials that's inside the chemtrails is would be a good transmitter for Wi-Fi. So
Right.
if it was in your body, that means you would become the Wi-Fi
Yeah.
transmitter.
Yeah.
You could be
And it
used
also
as a
the
weapon.
particles light up our lungs on like radar and stuff.
Yeah. Yep. I think there's many purposes for the chemtrails, though, Jan. It's not just one thing.
Hmm. I
Uh,
agree
they're
because
doing
they
lots of
can't
things
be
with
just
it.
to kill us and kill everything. They've been doing it too long, and we're all still here. So, I mean, I'm not saying they don't deploy certain things into the air that could affect us on another level for another, say, operation that they're doing. Use that as well, but on the daily,
Yep.
whatever they're trying to achieve here, and maybe also some new energies that are coming in uh, to our realm, maybe from above, that would
Yeah.
exponentially make our enlightenment move quicker. More people would wake
Yep.
up quicker. Maybe they're trying to slow that down a little as well by reflecting those energies that are coming in. I could be
Yep.
wrong about that, but it's definitely multifaceted, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm just gonna. I don't have too much more to show, Jan.
Hmm.
I'll just show a couple of Ireland slides, Ireland
Okay.
castles and stuff, and
Sounds good.
this Spanish wall. So, I mean, ludicrous to think that they, built this like 17, 1800s, right? That's what they always tell you.
Hmm.
17, 1800s, they built these things with no equipment, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
donkeys and horses and stuff. But even with all that, they still made decorative windows, little, you know, beautiful windows, and put
Oh, yeah.
these little decorative pieces on it. like as if you would do that if you
Right.
didn't
With
even
some weird janky rock like that too.
right, right. Well,
Motherfucker.
I mean, why would you spend your time putting these little decorative pieces on when in that time period supposedly people were starving to death and in poverty? We didn't have all that money to
Right.
do that stuff with, you know.
Make
But
it
this
make
is,
sense.
yeah, none of it makes sense anymore. And of course, the archway. Building an archway is a challenge in itself. You know, ask any bricklayer, right?
Right?
It's not easy. Uh,
No, it's not.
and
They seem to have no problem with it.
I had a friend that shared an email with me that got me interested to show Irish castles tonight. So thank you for doing that. But this is Athenry, so like the song, and I sang the song in my stream, so I'm not going to sing it again. But so it just again, why would they build this in a time period where they didn't even have enough food to eat, you know?
Yep.
So, but anyway, I just wanted to show a
Now, have
couple.
you ever heard of the song Danny Boy?
Danny Boy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Danny Boy, the
Yeah.
pipes are calling. From
My
glen
son's
to
grandfather
glen.
on his dad's side used to sing him that when he was going to sleep.
Yeah.
He's half Irish, half Italian. So
It's kind of like our national anthem unofficially. You know, it's not our official national anthem. We're supposed to be God Save the Queen, you know, but they use that one because nobody really wants to do God Save the Queen, to be honest with you.
right?
You know, man. So they don't feel that way about her.
Yeah.
Of course, she's dead now, so
Right. Yeah. The
it's not gonna
lizard.
matter.
Look at which is dead.
But there was one of a university. So this here university's pretty interesting. Galway University. Beautiful,
Oh, wow.
beautiful place. I just was going to show this for eye candy, really, because it's just
Yeah,
beautiful.
nice.
But to, to to put those windows in, like that window, the size of that thing. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just ludicrous, Jen.
absolutely.
And who made all that? The glass and stuff and shaped it. You know, they shaped
Yeah,
the
and
glass.
cut it
Wow.
perfectly to fit in there.
Right.
How are they cutting glass?
Right. Now, they might say they've put this in recently, right? But the window frame was there in the original building, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I always laugh at the windows because why would you do that? You would just make a square window, right? Because you're not haven't got all that money, supposedly.
Yeah. A lot of questions. No answers. At least not from mainstream
this-
academia.
If you want to show some stuff after this, Jen, that's fine.
Guess what? We got 33 people here.
Oh, sweet.
Of
33.
course we do.
Always. And here you go. Another. I think they might have refurbished this top part, Jen.
Uh-huh.
Looks a little cleaner.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean?
They could have did that, yeah. Or
Probably.
maybe it's just not damaged up there. I don't know.
Well, they can do the grout. You know, they can clean in between
Yeah.
the grout.
Right.
grout,
It's
you know,
interesting,
down
these domes that are on here. These onion-shaped domes for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of like
They love
something
domes.
you would see somewhere else, not there.
They love domes. A lot of domes. Even our local post office in the town next to where I used to live, they had a dome on the roof in the post office.
Oh, wow.
You know, so it's like, what? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you put a dome on?
Exactly.
What's the
Steve
point?
showed when I used to do shows with Steve. He showed somewhere where his mom worked up there in Springfield. I forget what type of place it was, but it had like domes on it, like these. One of them was gold.
Yes.
It's like, what the? Like, why would that even be like that? What was
I know.
this place?
What's the point? It's just the part that gets me is how decorative everything is. And the time period, because you know, I tried to show it on my video, Jan. You know, they were supposedly the potato famine was in the 1700s, right? And somehow they were building buildings like this at the same time.
Zoom back out again. So here we're looking. Yeah, zoom back out to where we can see the whole area.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so off to the back right-hand side are the modern buildings, which look like
Yes.
crap, right? And then you have this
Yes.
gigantic old world building here that looks like it could just stand there another 3,000, 4,000 years. But
That's
our
right.
buildings in the back are very temporary looking, very
Boxy, just square.
yeah.
No point. I mean, if there's a pointy roof, it's just a normal sloping roof, but it's not. There's never any,
There's nothing
you know,
ornate about it
domes
at
and
all.
stuff, right?
It's like modern brutalism is what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah.
It just stands out, and there's a lot of buildings like that in Ireland, churches especially, that just stand out. Jen, they're like, well, how are they even there? You know.
Right.
But just a beautiful place, really. This university. That's why I kind of want to show that. And
Yeah, it's really
also,
nice.
it kind of proves the point, you know, of our story. Not our story, but
That's right. Look at
it's
that.
definitely not
Wow.
his story.
Look at the tech on this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They love it.
Oh.
They love it. Put a cross on top, right?
Yeah, it's always those four and then the center one. You know, it's like four peaks in the center peak as well.
It even looks
around
like an
the dome,
electrical.
Yeah, and if you look at the larger dome, it has the same thing going around it. It looks like
Yes,
it's four
got
of
the
them. Yeah, and the
4
central dome.
points. Mhm.
Yep. You see this
It
even
almost-
on the top of the pagodas. When you look at their tech, they'll have this one central rod with a ball and then four going around it, flanking it.
Yes, similar design.
Mhm.
It even looks like an electrical component. Like if you
Mhm.
just were to just look at it, or a space age thing, like a spaceship or something. Or
Right.
I know we don't do space, but I'm just saying it has that idea of
Futuristic, kind of.
technology. Yeah. Old futuristic.
This was the future. This is the way things were. So we did that one
Yes.
show called Back to the Future because it's like we think we're all modern and you know up to speed on everything. No, we're like living rudimentary compared to what they had
So-
going on.
It looks like some of these bricks are popping out here, Jen.
Mm,
Popping out, and bulging out. Got a little bit
popcorn
of
bricks.
damage. Burned a little bit. So obviously this one got a little bit of heat, but not enough to destroy it, right? It just got enough to pop the bricks out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Which that makes it even harder to get these things like to tear down. If you were trying to tear this down, it's like
Yeah.
it expanded and solidified, so it's even stronger now. Actually,
yes, Jen, I'm pretty much through any pictures I wanted to show tonight, but I don't know if you want to
okay,
show your
well-
ones.
I think what we're going to do is take a quick break,
Okay.
and then we'll come back and I'll show us a couple of things that I got. Okay, let's see what we got
Stop
here.
sharing.
I guess we'll put on Ball's Pyramid. Everybody likes that one. Pay close attention when he flies by this thing, okay? Because you can really see the innards of the building. I'm just saying. All right, guys, we'll be right back. right, we are back. I love that one. All right, so can you hear me okay?
Yeah, can hear you. Yep.
Okay, good.
You're back
Yeah,
now.
so when he flies past that, you could see like right into, you can see the structure, you know,
Yeah.
the
I was smoking a cigarette. I didn't get to see it.
yeah, I know,
Just
it's all
got
good.
back.
I've seen it so many times, I know. But
I'll, have
I
to,
always tell people like, gotta pay attention to that one.
I'll watch it back later.
Uh,
See it.
okay, so Shapu sent me something that we're going to look at, and my mother had sent me something as well. So we're going to check these out. Let me get into a screen share here. I'll put the volume
Should we shout out
on.
the chat a little bit? Hey Freya, how you
Absolutely.
doing? Doug, good to see you, man. Melanie, good to see you too. LVK, good to see you.
Welcome, everybody. Yeah, we lost a few on that one. We're down to 22 people now, it says.
Oh, okay.
They'll be
I
back.
must have said something wrong.
No, I think the break, when we go on a break, people, kind of flip around to other channels, and then they see something. They don't go.
I mean,
All right,
it's
so you can
YouTube.
see this on the screen, right?
Yes. Yep.
All right. So my mom sent this to me. She said that these people were digging around in their garden or trying to make a garden or something, and they were coming upon all this structure.
Wow.
And so she sent it to us. So here we go.
Maybe I don't wanna know the way home. Taking on a journey, I got places to go. Wanna chase a miracle.
What's that? Is that some brick?
Always.
Just gotta open the door. Darling, it's cold out there. Don't feel the road.
Right under their feet in their yard is some brick.
Yep.
Okay?
Come along with me. You're not alone out there. Let's write a song, wake up and meditate. If you're looking for me, baby, know you can find me all over the sun. Somewhere running up my heartbeat, I don't look behind me all over the sun.
Wow. That's crazy, right?
Yes,
That's pretty
absolutely. I have outside where my camper is here, where it's sitting on, under the ground. Yeah, there's bricks popping out of the ground,
Right.
like old
Wow.
ones. Yeah.
Wow. You should
I'm
start
gonna
digging
take some-
around, see what you
Yeah.
see. I was looking at this place. It's a Spinalonga. I think it's in Spain. I just came across it and I shared it with Chapu, and I was like, dude, the whole island is the building.
It's
And of course, he had a post on it already with a bunch
obviously.
of pictures. Obviously, right? Hold
Yeah.
on, let me scroll back.
Chapu's got every picture. I think he's got more pictures than Yandex.
I think he has more pictures than God. That's possible. I can't really zoom in on this thing, but you can see here it goes all the way around. The whole thing is the building, and it reminds me of like Isabella Island in Italy.
Yeah.
I had shared that a while ago. I'll show you guys it real quick.
That'd be another good one for boots on the ground. Out, go to that island.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Somewhere exotic.
Oh, did I spell it right? Yeah, this one here. Oh, hold on. Let me click this. I need it. I need to see it from the air, though. Oh, it's just Bella Island, isn't it? Let me see here. Bella Largo. Hold on.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
All right, yeah. So here we go. Just like this island here. This is all man-made, this thing.
Yeah.
You can see how it goes right down to the water, even the arches and all that right here. This whole thing is the structure, all of it.
Obviously.
Yeah. And that's what I thought of when I saw this here, what we're looking at. I was like, oh, this is crazy looking.
Yeah.
Why am I not
Those look
surprised?
similar.
Let me
It's
see
very
if I can
similar.
get this one to go big. Here, let me zoom in on it. There we go. Yeah, Yandex has really good pictures because they're nice and clear. I should have looked this up on Yandex. But again, here you can see the whole thing is structure, every part of the island, because the
Yes.
island is the structure.
It
It almost
does
looks like
look.
it's floating, doesn't it?
It does.
It's like a
I was going
float.
to
It looks
say
like
like a turtle, like a
right.
turtle floating around.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's got kind of like a star fort side to it
I was
here.
going to say, Jan, it does look like a star 40 shape. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's
And when you zoom in
interesting.
on it, everywhere you look, oh, I don't know why I can't make it move over though. Let me see if I can pull it over. I can't. But everywhere you look, going up it, you see the terracing, just like we see in Herodium or even
Yes.
in Santorini, stuff like that. It's
Yep.
building on building on building. It's the whole thing's the building. Let
Yes.
me go to the starboard part here. I don't know why it's not letting me zoom in on it the way I like to. But yeah, this is really sharp edge right here. And
Yeah.
it's just sitting there doing nothing.
I
Oh, it
know.
says Greek castles. So this is in Greece. I said Spain. I apologize.
No worries.
Let's look at this part here.
To me, it doesn't
Wow.
matter where you say because it's everywhere. It's just
Exactly,
everywhere.
exactly. But some people, they have to know where it is, and if you don't get it right,
Okay.
they're just going to do a hit piece on you.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, I'll get plenty of those then because
Typical stuff that I deal with.
I don't care.
Look at
I don't
this.
say the names.
Wow.
Oh,
Like you
that's
say, why would you build this here like this?
it's no reason. There's and into the water. Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to see that happening.
Underwater foundations are hilarious.
That wall. They got a little scaffolding up.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one guy on it
Doing nothing.
doing
Yep.
nothing.
There's bricks popping out right in the corner there, Jan. Right up on the very corner there.
Up here
Yeah.
on this side?
Yeah. Those ones like popping out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right
Yeah,
on
they're
the tip of it there. Yeah.
popcorn ballooning out.
Yeah. Because I used to wonder how they got so much larger.
Right.
Like at the bottom, they're kind of go larger. But with the expansion, like you guys have covered that before,
Yep.
it can expand.
Yeah, Shapu has shown a lot of evidence on that, which is awesome. It helps our theory, to put the evidence to it, to explain it better. This happened, I feel, rapidly and almost instantaneously, the heat, whatever happened, and, people say, well, have you duplicated this? Could you make it happen again and stuff? We can melt the bricks and the stones or whatever, but to have it form the way it does and balloon out, I think it has to do more with how fast it happens. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, say
Agreed.
if you were, I don't know, putting it on double speed, you're recording if you're frying an egg up, you know what I mean? And how quickly it bubbles up and stuff, and then it stops.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
exactly the way I see it happening. Now, I could be wrong. None of us really know. We weren't there, but it's an unusual feature, but we see it throughout everywhere. And, it's not exactly something that you could recreate readily, this type of heat, controlled heat, and how fast it happens. Some people have tried to do different experiments, but we can clearly see the heat differentials, especially when you look at Pompeii. You can see a perfect brick wall next to a perfectly still standing, janky, weird rock wall. That's,
Yeah.
of course they didn't build that like that. Why would they? So something happened there. So that clearly that wall was brick, and now it looks like janky rock from your backyard. How
I
do you
love
make that make sense?
the transitional ones are great. I love showing those. Uh,
Yeah.
at the guys at work when I was showing them about the melt in the last job I worked at, which those guys you couldn't deny it when you had the two transitional bricks right beside each other.
Absolutely.
One was a
Yeah.
rock, one's a brick. It's
Yep.
undeniable.
Yep. And once you explain that, when they could see that, even that small heat differential there, then they can start to see it better. It'll
Yes.
start, once they see, just like anything else, they're going to be like, I can't unsee this now. It's everywhere, everywhere I look.
Right.
And everywhere is a vast place. This is why we spend so much time on the melt, because there's so many different places across the plane to look at, and they're so fascinating. And you never know what you're going to find in a lot of these different sites. So it's always interesting to delve into different places.
Yes.
Okay, so Shapu sent me this. Thank you, Shapu. It's Medieval Studies Research blog, and it has to do with some type of ruins here. Let me see what it says underneath of it. Ruined wall, stone. It doesn't say where it's at, though. Let's see here. Old English ruins. Okay, so these are Old English ruins, it looks like. Again, if this was more squished down, it would be what you would call sedimentary layers. But here you can see how the bricks are transitioning from, brick with mortar still in it on the right-hand side here over to loss of mortar and more just the rectangular shapes of the bricks kind of popping out and melting together. And we see this a lot throughout the sedimentary layers that they say are sedimentary layers. Like what you were showing with the pictures from from China. You can see it in that a lot. I'll scroll down here a little. There's some more pictures to look at. Oh, yeah, look at this. Wow. Look at that. That was all beautiful red brick, and now it's gray, dead brick.
Muffed up.
All muffed up, yep. Look how far down it goes. It looks like it goes further down underneath the ground as well.
Shapu says that's a poem. That writing that was under that.
Oh, under the other one?
Yeah, the one.
Oh, I got you. Oh, I got you.
The English one is a poem.
Yeah, I'm not reading that. You can read it if you want.
let Shapu read it.
You'd probably understand these words since you're from Ireland and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Old English, it's close to Ulster Scots, but not really though.
Yeah, like these words here. I don't know if I could. I don't know.
Aye.
The Ruins of Time, a modern English translation. Okay, here we go. Here's the translation for it. Wondrous are these walls, stone broken by fortune. The citadels crumbled, the work of giants ruined. Wow, interesting. The roofs are collapsed, the towers crumbled, the pillars bereft. Ice on the arches scattered the storm wall, old, eroded, weathered, and worn. Wow. This crazy wind outside right now. We're about to get hit with another storm here. It's crazy.
We're not getting any over here.
Yeah, it's here.
Far away from you. Hopefully it's not coming this way.
Oh, we got a little thing here. What's this?
The Exeter book Ruin, recitation by Richard Fahey.
Oh, can you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll play that another time. I'm not going to play all that right now, but I'm going to drop the link for you guys. Absolutely. I don't know how long that was, though. It wasn't too long, I don't think.
I don't know if he's going to read the poem, maybe.
The Exeter book Ruin, recitation by Richard Fahey.
It looks like it's 4 minutes long.
Vatlich is deas Whalestan, wurde je brakon, burg stede burston.
This is the English version.
Rosnath enter your wear.
Oh, thank you.
That's like Welsh. Awesome. That sounds like Welsh to me.
Yeah, it does sound kind of Welshy.
Like Welsh. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Often this wall, lynching gray and rust-coated, endure one rain after another, stood under storms. Steep and curved it fell. Huh.
People liked it, Jan, in the chat.
Yeah.
The way he was reading that.
Yeah, he was reading it, the untranslated version. Here's the one we want, I think.
Ruins of the Past. Poem by Richard Fahey. Wondrous are these wall stones, broken by fortune, the citadels crumbled, the work of giants ruined. The roofs are collapsed, the towers tumbled, the pillars bereft. Ice on the arch scarred the storm wall, old, eroded, weathered and worn. The earth's grasp keeps the master artisans, deceased and decayed in the firm grip of the ground. until 100 generations of human peoples have departed. Often this wall, lichen gray and rust-coated, endured one regime after another, withstood under storms, steep and curved. It fell, yet it wanes, hewn, fell on, grimly ground down, shone, a well-crafted ancient work, mud-covered and bowed,
Oh,
the mind.
did you hear that? It said mud covered. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I hope it still plays. Oh man, I meant to pause it. Oh wait,
No
hold
surprises.
on. All right, guys, I'm gonna drop this link though. That's interesting. Here, where does it say it here? Greystone hot steam. It said it just up here somewhere when he was reading it. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna drop this link for you guys. You can check it out and listen to it. I'm not gonna be on here much longer. I know the storm's coming too. Let me see. Thank you, Shapu. That was awesome. I appreciate that. What else did I have up here to look at? Let me see here. Look at that. Oh, I wanted to show you guys that picture I had. Oh, this one here, the tunnels. All right, I got that. Hold on. Oh, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to drop this link. I can't play this video, but it's massive network of European underground tunnels. Okay, and this guy goes and looks at a lot of different things in here, and they say there's Stone Age tunnels and stuff. There's a whole network of them that go under Europe, and a lot of them look like the different mines that we see as well. With the brickwork in them. In here, you can see the brickwork right there. Yeah. And they're all over Europe, guys. It's crazy. It connects all of Europe. Now, if you think about Turkey, Derinkuyu, Cappadocia, and there's like 4 or 5 other ones now that they found that all connect under Turkey. Here, look at these. This is crazy. These are buildings underground. Because the ground is the building. Look at this part.
Yeah. Everywhere, bricks everywhere.
Let me see here. I'm just skipping around a little, showing you some of the brickwork they're finding at these tunnel locations.
What's their narrative about that? Do you know, Jim?
Oh, these are Stone Age. It's Stone Age tunnels.
Okay. Always.
What else could it be, right?
Right. Gotta be.
Hold on, I'm dropping this link here so you guys can listen to that video. Take from it what you will, but there's some decent looking pictures in there and stuff that they're showing. Now, let me see this thing here that I have. Oh, this guy here. All right, he goes and he's out in the middle of the woods and he's finding all this structure here on the ground. Like he's zooming into the ground and you can see brick here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And this is in the middle of the forest.
Middle of nowhere. Looks like Alabama, is it?
It does. It does look like Alabama. He goes poking around here and stuff, and he's like, this is something like, am I on top of a building? Is this the floor? Or what is this? How far down does it go? Look at this. You can see all the brick down in there.
Man. I mean, you'd kind of want to explore down in there, but it'd be kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
You would think, Be like another ape cave,
Right. That was crazy.
Take some water next time.
Well, yeah. I don't know. They should have had really difficult on their sign, not just
right. Yes, some warnings.
Right, something.
Absolutely.
I was so into filming though, I swear I didn't even care.
Right.
So the getting towards the end and that last huge pile we had to climb over is like, no way. We're almost there, except you have to climb the biggest pile of them all. And there's, look at this pile and you're like, which way do I go? Because if I go the wrong way, I'm going to have to come all the way back down the treacherous climb I just climbed up to go around to go over to this other side. Hopefully that takes me over it. Yeah, it was crazy.
That sounded. You scared us, Just saying.
Yeah, I hit my head and it didn't even leave a bump or nothing. I don't know what happened. It was crazy. So yeah, this whole area here is like got these holes and stuff, and there's like, structure. I don't know what's going on in here, but I thought it was pretty interesting. I just happened to come across this video. I'm not sure what he knows or what he doesn't know, but I am going to share this with you guys. You guys can check it out. I like looking at people's explore videos, and they just, boots on the ground. They don't even realize they're doing boots on the ground.
Right. Doing the work for you.
Yeah,
like
right.
That one you showed of Vesuvius, right? Where they were down in there, and they weren't even looking for bricks or nothing like that.
Uh-huh.
It was bricks. Do you still have that video somewhere of that one? Or remember?
I don't know if I still have that video.
That'd be interesting.
So here it says, recently archaeologists made a surprising discovery of a mysterious tunnel in Scotland that stretches all the way to Turkey.
Wow.
All the way to Turkey. There's water between Scotland and Turkey, right?
Right.
Let that sink in for a second. However, researchers are still uncertain about its purpose and how ancient people could have created such a massive tunnel. Because ancient people didn't do it with their rudimentary tools, okay? In the narrative that they want to try to abide by when they find stuff like this.
Yeah, of course. That's what I keep saying, Jan, is it's the narrative that's stopping people. You could give them all the information of the day, but they won't get it because the narrative, controls their mind.
Yep, exactly. And that is where the perception deception comes in. And there has been people who surmised that the cart ruts, the ancient cart ruts that we see everywhere, we did a whole live stream on it, do look like and measure out to the tram tracks. But they couldn't have been that because they didn't have those back then. They only had cart ruts. So they have to stick with it. Although they admit that is what they look like. See, we can say for certain that not just be like, oh, it just looks like it. It is it. It measures out. And also in Pompeii, they have found metal in the streets that they supposedly used for potholes. But now we know that's a fake narrative because they would have to explain why there's metal in the street.
Yeah.
So it mustn't be to fix potholes. What else could it be? It can't be trolley tracks, could it? No.
Yeah. It's funny because there's a harbor near my hometown, and they have the tracks, train tracks in the harbor, set into the harbor, and it's pretty old. I mean, it's ancient, so it's probably the same deal, same idea.
Yeah, they have a lot of different areas where the cart ruts supposedly, they just go right into the water. And even when they follow them in the water, when they couldn't see where they ended.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a problem.
It is.
Make it make
especially
sense.
If you're on a train, especially going into the water. Absolutely.
Yeah, here's their narrative for their ancient stone tunnels that connect everything under Europe. Is Stone Age man created a massive network of underground tunnels crisscrossing Europe from Scotland to Turkey. So it's not just one tunnel that's going from here to there. They're crisscrossing, okay? And they're different levels as well. Why? Because it's probably a melted building. That's why.
Yes, absolutely.
A new book on the ancient superhighway has claimed. German archaeologist Dr. Heinrich Kirsch has said evidence of the tunnels have been found under hundreds of Neolithic settlements all over the continent. So there you have it, guys.
Can I use Meltolithic in there?
Meltolithic, I like that.
Neolithic.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Curtis here. Curtis keeps track of all the words that we're using. So Meltolithic.
Yeah,
we're keeping a little
Meltolithic, I
dictionary.
like that. Meltolithic.
Any new ones that come up, he's writing them down. We'll make a book at some point.
Yeah, we have to have like all the keywords and what their meanings are, like bricklets and tranny bricks and stuff.
Oh yeah, we got to do this professional. You know what I mean? It's got to look like, look professional.
You got to know the difference between janky rock and melted brick, and how it gets to be janky rock from melted brick.
Yeah. And
Oh, boy.
all the terminology will be in the back, you know, in the appendix. You know, you'll be
Yeah, I
able to
have a
look
glossary
up
and stuff.
the glossary. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But yeah, we do need to do another boots on the ground soon, though. You know, I think people are itching to do one. So I know Doug is.
Yeah, we have to
He's
do a
over.
meetup.
He's over there in Missouri, though. So I'd have to drive all the way over there. But
We have to find somewhere to meet in the middle.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Something.
But
Scotland to Turkey, excuse me, over 2,500 miles. Thank you, LBK, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied.
yeah,
I
and
took
they
a hit off
thought.
the break when we were on break, and I told my husband, I was like, I'm only taking one hit because I can't talk on them.
Do you remember when they built the Channel Tunnel? Do you remember when they said they built that? What do you think about that one? And I know they did bore it out, but I don't
Right.
know if it already existed. You know, like the structure of it.
Yeah,
You know what
that
I'm
could
saying?
possibly be. It could have been there and just needed cleared out. You know,
You
it was
remember all that? Yeah, when they were doing that. Like I was in the UK, so it was on the news every day. You know, they were doing this stuff,
right.
and it was such a big engineering project. It was so complicated, and
But
here we
ancient
are.
cave snowmen just dug tunnels all over the place.
That's what I was
With
just
great
about to say.
planning.
Like these guys in loincloths with chisels,
Yeah,
they built one better than that. So
their bear skins and their clubs and
right,
dreadlocks.
all that stuff. It's insane.
Oh boy,
But
it's amazing the narratives that we've been sold, and we bought into it. And there's so much more that we still have to uncover. I'm sure. I mean, every day it seems something new. You
yeah,
know.
I mean, I keep reiterating it. The narrative is our problem. It was
Yeah.
when the flat Earth came. The narrative was our problem then as well. And
Yeah.
it's the same every time. The story around it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a wonder they don't have a better story by now. You know,
I know.
I mean, like you said, they made a mistake. You know, about the train tracks. I mean, they mess up. They don't get. You know, they're stepping all over each other because they can't
Right.
keep the story straight. You know, so.
Yep.
But eventually
Somebody
they
got
won't be
together
able
with
to.
somebody and wrote down his story and put all these characters to it, and
Yeah.
it just. I can't think of anything they haven't lied to us about, really. I just don't buy into any of it anymore. I just go by what I can prove and what I see with my eyes and what God tells me in my heart. And when you're in line with truth and you keep following it and you're in it for years and stuff, um, you have these gut feelings that all right, maybe I don't have it all right, but I can tell that it's, not only that it's not what they're saying, but I have a pretty good idea of what this is.
Yeah.
You might not always
You're
have
in,
the proof or whatever, but when you're in line with truth, it resonates with you. You know what I
you're
mean?
you're kind of
Yeah.
moving in the right direction. You know, if you
Yeah.
move in the right direction, you can get nudged into the right. You know, what I mean, it only takes a nudge to get you into the real truth, right? But if
Yeah.
you're going in the opposite direction, yeah, you're never going to find it. You never find it at all, or not
Yeah.
moving at all. If you're not
Yeah.
moving
Or
at
getting
all,
stuck in the
right?
truth, getting
Yeah,
stuck
that's
in
right.
one part of it. You
That's
can't,
right. Get
you,
stuck.
you question everything. Well, that means question everything. Don't stay stuck.
Yeah.
As much as you would like to stay stuck or get it out of your system, but you have to keep moving. There's questions that come along that need answers. And that's where um, my push to go further comes in at.
That can be a pride issue, I think, with people, Jan, because if you go into a subject where you don't know anything about it,
Mhm.
now you're at the bottom again, right? You're not at the top.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
like in the flat Earth, you might have been the top. You knew
Right.
everything about
I
everything.
think that had a
So
lot to do with it. Yeah.
now you go to this new subject, it's like, oh, I got to relearn all this now, and it's kind of a pride thing, Jan.
Right.
It's hard to just be humble and listen and learn something,
I
but
agree.
because I was
I
the
mean,
same way about astronomy. I took astronomy in college, right? So I was expert, right? And when it came
there
to
are
flat
no
Earth,
experts.
right? But when it came to flat Earth, it was like, oh no, that can't be right because I know this stuff, about astronomy.
Right.
Well, and that was pride. You're being proud and saying I don't want to have to belittle myself and start again, like learn what the real truth is.
Right. It's easier to just stay in the lie. It's
Yeah.
you know, it's convenient, and the truth
Yeah.
can be inconvenient for people.
Right. And it's
Yeah.
easier to teach to
It's easier to fool people than
fool
convince them
people
they're
than
fooled.
convince them of being fooled. There you go.
Yeah.
My mind's gone. I got so
No,
much
it's all
stuff going on. I can hardly think straight. I got a lot going on in my life right now, so I just uh, don't really get a lot of chance to stream much or make much videos and stuff. But whenever I get settled again, I'll make more videos. But
Oh yeah, I think you're doing great with your channel. You're doing really good.
that's whenever I get a chance. Just Jan, it takes a while to make those videos. You know what
I
I mean?
know.
You know.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you critique yourself, and you're changing stuff, and you're
Yeah.
going
Or
back
you
on
send it
it.
to
And,
somebody, let them look at it, get some fresh eyes on it before you post it, and they'll be like, "Well, you didn't do this, you didn't spell that right. You got to go back and do," which is good.
I
I
have
like to have a second pair of eyes on my stuff before I.
well, I may start doing that actually because there's a lot of mistakes that I see after I've posted it. But
Right.
and I don't really want to take it down because I don't have too many videos up there. So just leave them all up there for now. But hopefully we'll get into it pretty heavy.
Well, make up a backup channel and start putting your stuff over there, or link up to Odyssey or something, so your stuff automatically goes over there.
Yeah.
I know you're just kind of starting out, but you should get on that as quick as you can.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Just never know.
Well, I might get off here, Jan.
Yeah.
Time for me to have another smoke, and it's been a
Absolutely.
pleasure.
Well, I had a lot of fun. I'm so happy you came on with me tonight. I'm sorry, guys, about yesterday. I had to reschedule. Like, Johnny said, there's a lot going on my end as well. I'm actually leaving for Philly on Saturday. I'll be up there for 7 days with my family. And it's just a lot of stuff.
I know. Real life is, difficult. So, but yeah. But it's been a pleasure talking to you, Jan.
All right. Well, I love you, Johnny. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. And like I always tell you guys, let it not be said that we stood by and did nothing. I love you guys, and we are out of here.